on the streets, and then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
Yeah.
Denny's adopted daughter is finally speaking out, and she's dropping some serious truth bombs about what really went down. I mean, this is the stuff we've all been waiting for. So let's get into it and break down what she had to say. 'Cause trust me, you don't want to miss this. Alright, so we've all been hearing about Denny's legal drama rocking the industry, right? But what most people didn't realize was how messy things were going to get until he actually got arrested. While he was still out, a lot of people were too scared to speak up. He's even been caught threatening to make folks disappear. That's probably why he's been denied bail twice, even after throwing $50 million on the table and offering his house and his mom's house too. Prosecutors are worried he'll try to intimidate witnesses. Now, things are getting even messier. Turns out Denny's been working overtime to keep one case under wraps: the disappearance of his rumored adopted daughter, Ava Baron Combs. But honestly, Denny's downfall started way before that. And the wild part? The same people who were around him all day are the ones coming forward now, spilling all the tea. One of the key players here is Gene Deal, aka Uncle Gene, who used to be Denny's bodyguard back in the 90s. They had a big falling out, and ever since, Uncle Gene's been exposing Denny's dirty laundry. Every time he talks, something crazier comes out. And this time, it's all about Denny's short-lived adoption of Ava. But it gets deeper. He's calling out other big celebs and officials too. So, back in 2020, right when the pandemic was in full swing, Denny randomly announced he adopted a white girl named Ava Baron Combs. It was literally out of nowhere. One day, she's just part of the Combs family, and Denny even went live on Instagram, proudly showing her off.
My name's Ava. I'm a Scorpio.
No. What's your last name?
Ava Combs.
What's your other last name?
Ava Baroni.
Eva Baroni Combs? Yes, it's breaking news. Diddy adopted a white child.
But it was so random that most people didn't even catch it. Now, almost everyone's forgotten about Ava, which is why nobody even thought to ask about her until Denny's arrest. Looking back at that IG Live now though, it's hard not to notice how uncomfortable Ava seemed, surrounded by Denny and his sons. People seem to agree she looks wildly uncomfortable. This is truly horrifying. The people around this young girl failed her. Denny's downfall is quite evident at this point. His story becomes darker each day that goes by. It's so creepy, but nobody questioned it 'cause we didn't know what we know now. There were whispers, but nothing serious. It just seemed like typical industry gossip. Plus, Denny had that untouchable, role model vibe. It almost felt noble, like he was giving a kid in need a home. But Denny kept explaining himself about the adoption, even though no one was accusing him of anything. He even made Ava say on camera that she was there willingly, like he was gathering proof just in case. At the time, he made it sound like Ava was someone he helped out during tough pandemic times. But then, just as quick as Ava showed up, she disappeared. No more posts, no mentions, no family pics, nothing. Now Uncle Gene is coming out with some heartbreaking stuff. He's saying Denny never really cared about adopting Ava. There's more to this story, and it looks like her disappearance wasn't as innocent as it seemed. Gene hinted that Denny might have just used Ava for some quick PR during the pandemic to boost his image. But once the cameras stopped rolling, Ava was gone. So hold up. If you think Denny just let her go, think again. Gene's dropping some crazy hints that Denny did some shady stuff with her. Remember when Homeland Security raided Denny's Miami home a few months ago? That's when everyone realized this was bigger than anyone thought. Now, Denny had civil lawsuits flying around, like Cassie's case, but those were all civil. When Homeland steps in, it's criminal, and why all know Homeland doesn't just show up for no reason. They come with receipts. After that raid, Denny knew he was in real trouble. Both Gene and the feds were suggesting the raid was tied to Denny's involvement in sex trafficking, and Ava might have been one of the victims. Gene even hinted that there could be some disturbing footage of Ava out there, connected to Denny's infamous freak-offs. The feds are on it, and if those tapes exist, this scandal could blow up even more. it wouldn't take much to back up those trafficking rumors. Of course, Denny's lawyers jumped in the next day, trying to do damage control, saying the feds were just out to ruin Denny's rep. But let's be real, if the feds are on your case, especially with accusations like this, you're in serious trouble. This was pretty much the start of Denny's downfall. Word on the street is he's been selling off properties and going broke after dropping millions to settle with lawyers. Things really got crazy when rumors started flying that Denny was trying to skip the country. It's like he and his team realized how bad things were getting, and maybe his lawyers even told him that running was his only option to dodge prison. But the feds were on top of him. They caught wind of his plan and shut it down real quick. When Denny got arrested, they didn't just take his passport, they even took his family's, including his 1-year-old kids. Imagine being such a big-time criminal that even your baby isn't allowed to leave the country. Now, everyone's been asking if that Homeland Security raid was connected to Ava, and sadly, it looks like it was. You've got to wonder what Denny and his sons did to that poor girl. Speaking of his sons, Justin and Christian have been dragged into this whole mess too, and it's not just about Ava. Justin and Christian have always been known for having their dad's back, almost like their lives depended on it. If you didn't know, both of them have been named in different lawsuits, so it seems like this shady energy has been hanging over the whole family. People have called them spoiled Nepo babies, getting into all kinds of trouble just because their dad was untouchable. But let's focus on how they're tied into Denny's current mess, because it's not looking good. Christian's been keeping up his public image, staying with music and fashion, but that hasn't stopped the rumors. He's been linked to some of Denny's wild parties, and people are wondering if he was involved behind the scenes. There's no solid proof yet, but his flashy lifestyle, private jets, and high-profile parties has people side-eyeing him, thinking he might be part of the whole deal. He's out here living recklessly, just like his dad. Then there's Justin. He's been doing his thing as a former college football player turned influencer, but even he hasn't escaped the drama. Denny's legal team is apparently working overtime to distance Justin from all the shady parties and stuff. But Justin's probably going to get questioned about what he knows, especially with how tight he is with his dad's brand. From his UCLA football days to his party boy image, Justin's always been linked to Denny, making him an easy target for the feds. People want to know if Justin was ever at those parties or mixed up in any of the shady business going on. And as if that wasn't enough, the situation with Denny's late partner, Kim Porter, is back in the spotlight. Some people never bought the official story that she died of pneumonia while at home with Denny. There's always been talk of foul play. You can't really blame them with everything going down. This case is getting attention again, especially with a new book called Kim's Lost Words stirring things up.
So you have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right? I know
He did it.
you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Diddy's entire life, his whole image, is falling apart, and folks want to know what really happened to Ava. It feels like Diddy's hiding something way darker behind his smiles and Instagram lives. It's starting to seem like the industry has been protecting him all this time. But as 50 Cent hinted, this creepy castle Diddy's built is starting to crumble slowly but surely. All the criminal accusations are making people connect the dots, and it's straight up terrifying. And let's be real, this is probably just the beginning. The hearing hasn't even started yet, and trust me, things are going to get even crazier. If Diddy goes down, he's not going down alone. So, who do you think he might take down with him? Drop your thoughts in the comments and let us know if you think any big names are about to get exposed.